Hi, my name is Mr. Exum and welcome to my EdTech channel where I show you how to get the most out of technology in the classroom. This video is a really simple beginner's guide to Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams for Education is a platform that allows you to have conversations and work collaboratively with a certain group of people within your school. This may be a class, a group of other teachers, or really any group made up of students and/or teachers that you need to work with. The key point of Teams is that you should be able to do everything you need to work with this group, be it chat, have a video conference call, work collaboratively on a document or assign tasks without leaving the app. It draws together all the functionality of Office 365 into one place. Each aspect of Teams really needs addressing in detail, so this video is very much just an overview of the basics that will allow you to get up and running straight away. So let's get started. So where can you actually find Microsoft Teams? Well, if you sign into office.com with your Office 365 account, you'll see that their Teams is an option there as a web app. You can also install an app on your phone, on iOS or on Android, but actually the best place to work on Teams is on Windows 10, on the Windows 10 app. So here we go. Now I'm in Teams. Now we've got this navigation bar down the left-hand side, which is where you can move between the different areas of Teams. The main tab you're really interested in probably is this Teams one. This is where you can control and navigate within all your teams. There's two different views. You may see this view, a tile view, which is quite nice, and you can click into each team and see what's going on there and go back to all teams. I quite like just clicking on the settings here and switching the view to the list view. Now the list view means that all my teams are in one place. I don't have to keep going backwards and forwards, and I can just open them up and go into the different areas of each team straight within this section here. So let's say I want to create a new team. So there's a create or join a new team button here, and it was, if we go back to the other view, it is at the top right if we're in this view. So I click on there and I've got create a team button here. I've got 4 different types of team. This is pretty obvious between the differences. Class is really for students, and you have different options if you set up a class team where you can actually set assignments. You've got a grade book, you can have class insights, and I'll be covering more information on running teams with a class in another video. PLC is an educator sort of working group, but it's quite specific in terms of its structure for proper PLC work that you will be doing in some schools. If you're working more generally with staff and colleagues and teachers, then I would pick the staff one. And if you're setting up, if it's for a club with students, extracurricular, co-curricular kind of thing, then you want the other option here. So I'm going to click staff and I'm going to give it a name. I can give it a description. And here I can make it private where I can invite members to join, or actually it might be a really open one. Anybody can join within the organisation. Maybe it's a social one for teachers to be able to chat, and it's for them to opt into and not for me necessarily to invite them. So I'm going to choose a private one. I click next to create the team, and I can start typing a name or group to add to my team. So other teachers, etc. I'm going to skip that for now. And here I am. Here's my new team. So when you're in a team, there are certain things you need to be aware of. This ellipsis here is very important. This allows you to manage the settings within that team. So here is where I can add members, I can add channels, I can edit any details within the team, or I can get further into the settings here. For now, I'm going to add a channel. Now, channels are shown down the left. So you can see I've got the general channel. That's the default one that is there. Now, channels are used for you to be able to break down your sort of team discussions and planning into different sections. It can get very unwieldy if it's all in one big area. So if you think actually this is relevant to this particular project we're working on, I'm going to have a channel just on that, or maybe it's a class team that you're working with and you break down your subject that you're teaching into all the different topics. So for now I'm just going to have one set up called ideas. This is where obviously we're just going to be able to chat and post ideas in there. Something that's quite, I think, important to switch on is this tick box at the bottom, which means it will show up in everybody else's channel list, who are members of this team. Otherwise, it will be sort of hidden and they have to manually just add that in there. Okay, so here's my new channel. So you can see now I've got different channels and I can switch between the two. The other thing to be aware of is the tabs across the top. On each channel you can have multiple tabs. On the general one I've got the posts, which is where we're going to have our conversations within that channel. I've also got files. Any files that are added within posts will pop up in there. And I've got a staff notebook. Now this is a OneNote staff notebook, and I can set that up. I'm not going to do that now, I'll do that in a later video to show you how that works. I've also got the plus button, which allows me to add other tabs. The individual tabs can be all sorts of things. They can be websites, specific websites are really important. Might be an individual document, a really key document that you need, that you want tabbed at the top that everybody can refer to straight off. It might be a form, or it could be an actual app that you could also add that you want regular access to. Okay, so let's add some content to the team. Now the important thing really for this is down here at the bottom. You'll see a conversation bar down here. So I can start typing away. Hi guys, welcome to the team. There we go, and I've added a little message to this general area for post under this channel. Now what's important to notice here is that actually they won't get a notification about this. However, if I the team name first, then they will actually get a notification about it. So if I do @ and then type demo, I can send that to the whole team, and they'll actually get a message about it. Okay, they'll actually get a notification saying something's happened within the team, so they'll go in and check it. So you don't need to do that every single time, but actually it's sometimes important, especially if you don't think somebody's going to check the channel very regularly, or their team's app very regularly, then you can alert them in a much better way. You can see I've messaged the whole team there because that little red button has come up. Okay, they can click to reply directly to any messages that I've posted. Now you will also be able to control notifications yourself if you click on the ellipsis at the top right here and you go to channel notifications, and you get some options here about notifications. It's important to think about notifications because you may end up with a lot of teams and a lot of chat going on, some of which you want to be alerted to straight away. It's really important, you need to be able to reply to it. Some of which you don't necessarily want to have to get notifications for all the time, but you just want to check it whenever you go onto Teams, so manage that carefully. So I've also got some other options, as you can see down here. This first little A is important because it allows me more options for my posts. Okay, I can actually post it to multiple channels. If it's a really important sort of bit of information, I could put it in more than just the general channel. And I've also got some formatting options here, so I can actually make my post a little bit more detailed. So that's useful to know. Also, what's important is how I can switch this from a conversation to something called an announcement, which I can do with this little drop down arrow here. So sometimes I don't want a conversation, I want to just say, do an announcement to the whole channel. So this might be something important, and I can customize it with some pictures. And I can @ the team. And I click the little post button down there, send, and you can see I've got an announcement which just highlights information in a different way. Obviously I can attach files straight in here, okay, and I can browse teams and channels, recent documents, upload ones directly from computer, or I can get onto my OneDrive as well. Okay, so here I'm going to upload this PDF. And I can also add a bit of information about it. Maybe I want to just tag this specifically to a particular person in the group. Send, there we go, and there's that PDF. Now also if I go into files now, you should see that PDF has appeared. So like I said, anything that gets added in the posts will appear in the files section. Now the beauty of Teams is how it integrates with these files and especially with Office files. So if I add a Word document in here, for example, okay, and I now go to files or click on that, what it does is it opens it up in Word Online within Teams. I don't need to download it, open it in the full app. I can do, if I want to, I can go and open it in the browser or open it in the desktop app here. But the beauty of this is that it allows people to view files and to work on files together straight within the actual app itself. You can have a little chat come up on the side here about the particular the actual document itself. So yes, we could all be typing onto this document together and working collaboratively on it, but also I might want to just have a chat alongside that document. And again, I can tag individuals and use the same sort of things like I want there. And what's nice is when this is all closed and I go back to that post, you'll see that that chat has now been added into that document post that was originally added on there. I've also got down here emojis, obviously very important, funny GIFs that you can search and add just to liven things up, stickers, and very importantly, I have this button here, Meet Now. Now, if I do Meet Now, this takes me straight into a video conferencing call with the group. I can add a subject to it. I might actually schedule a meeting for another particular time, and I can go straight into that video call. I'm going to end that now, and I'm going to do a separate video all on video conferencing within Teams, because there's a lot of great stuff in there that I want to be able to explain in more detail. So let's go back to the Teams, and we can see all the different teams. Just a couple of other tips and things to mention before we finish this basic introduction. You can drag these teams around if you want to reorder them. And if you want to customize the little logo, you can do that on there, and you can upload your own image or choose another image to have as the avatar for that particular team. Down the left here, we've got other ones we haven't mentioned. Files will show any files that have been added into any of your teams. And this allows you to be able to go through and find any files and manage them there without having to go into specific channels and specific teams. Calendar will sync with your Exchange, your Outlook calendar, which is fantastic. And this is where you go really to schedule meetings. Okay, so you do new meeting, and here you can add in all the details about who is required to come, the title, the timing, and all the information required for that meeting. You can also do scheduling assistant, so you can see the other attendees and whether they're free at the particular time you're suggesting the meeting. And you can post a particular channel here so that everybody in that channel will get the invite for that meeting, and it will go into their calendar as well. So calendar, very, very useful for managing all your video conferences. Calls, it allows you to make direct calls depending on what package you've got with individuals within your organization, and video calls there. And the chat functionality is great. The chat is really for kind of general conversations that are not specific to a particular team. You just want to, it's almost like instant messaging. You just want to send a quick message to somebody in your organization, or a little group chat. I think of it a bit like sort of WhatsApp on the side. And what's fantastic is when you're having a little chat with somebody, if they're replying quickly, you can just hit at the top right the audio call or the video call or the share screen option to just very quickly interact with that individual. So it allows for really instantaneous communication, separate from a particular formal team, which is brilliant. And activity gives you a rundown of all the activities that's been going on within all your teams, and you can see any recent updates. So that allows you to quickly check in and see what's been changed. Assignments is obviously specifically to do with classes and when you're using this with students. So this is where you can set assignments to your students, and again that requires really a separate video because a lot of information I can share with you there about how to set assignments, how to grade assignments, how to use rubrics, etc. In terms of teams, if you're on an actual class team, it's a bit different. You've got a few extra tabs. You do have an assignments tab to manage all the assignments that are with that particular class. You've also got a grade book, which is really, really helpful. And you can also add something called Insights, which is fantastic as an extra tab, which allows you loads of information about what's been going on with that particular class. So again, I'll be doing separate videos on all the extra functionality that you have in terms of using this with students. The last icons to look at down the left here are the ellipsis, which allows you to add new apps, and you'll find more information on the apps button down here. Now you can add all sort of apps that will work, third-party apps that will work in conjunction with Teams. And again, I'm not going to go into any level of detail there. For example, the Planner is a great app to use. This allows you to plan projects, assign tasks to different people within the team, and so those kind of things you can add in and have them as a special tab within Teams. Finally, just looking up at the top of the screen, there are two areas I haven't shown you yet. One is this one, which allows you to start a new chat straight away, and we can type a group in or various names in, and that starts our group chat. And we've also got this command box, which is really helpful. You can use this for searching for specific items or people, or to take quick action, or to launch apps. If you do \, you can see all these kind of great shortcuts that you've got straight in there to do things, to change your status, for example. So again, it's worth a separate video on that command box and the kind of things it can do. So there you go. Teams is a fantastic tool. Check out my channel for more in-depth videos on Teams and other EdTech tools. For now though, I hope that was useful and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. See you next time.